Roll.
Bill McGuire.
Here.
Autumn Lee. Mike Burns.
Here.
Rick Flynn.
Here.
Bob McAfee. David Pyle.
Here.
Roger Spencer.
Here.
Ladonna Hill. Here.
Will you all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and our invocation? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gracious God, as we come to you this day to begin another session of the Carl Junction Board of Alderman, we ask that you impart upon us your wisdom and guidance so that we may promote justice, assist those in need, and provide for the overall well-being of the citizens of Carl Junction. Amen.
Thank you, Holly. Next is approval of the agenda. Any comments or corrections to the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda tonight.
Motion by Roger Spencer, second by David Powell to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 7 in the affirmative with 1 absent. The agenda is approved. Next is the consent agenda, which is approval of the minutes of the previous meeting on February 6th, both open and closed, and the approval of disbursements.
Question on the
Yes.
disbursements, if I can. On the disbursements, there's a $900 disbursement for MSSU for the police academy on the tuition for training. Did we contact, an allegation was made a couple weeks ago that we have instructors actively discouraging recruitment on behalf of the city of Carl Junction. So did we talk to them yet?
I've talked to the head and he has no concrete evidence of that. We do have some hands-on training that we have to get done through somebody. So short of actually going out there and interviewing every staff member to see if they want to fess up to talking bad, then that's our option.
I take it is stressing to the staff though that doesn't take place, or
Do what?
was he going to talk to the staff though to make certain that doesn't take place?
He says he'll do an inquiry, but I mean, unless I do it myself, and which is fine, I do intend to go talk to them because at this point we need to talk it up and make sure that we are being heard. In fact, I may have to go out and actually start talking to the academy classes myself. They do have some free time that people can come in and do that.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't want to contribute
I agree.
city money.
I know we talked about
I don't want
that.
to pay somebody to trash talk us.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by Roger Spencer to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 7 in the affirmative. The consent agenda, 1 absent. The consent agenda is approved. Next is public forum. Anyone wishing to speak at public forum? Okay, let me read this then. All persons wishing to speak to the mayor and board of aldermen during the public comment portion of this meeting should come forward one at a time and stand at the podium, then state your name and address and the subject matter you wish to comment upon. All comments should be directed to the mayor in a civil manner. Comments are limited to 5 minutes unless the mayor or board of aldermen grants additional time. It is the mayor's responsibility to make certain these rules are followed and to maintain order and decorum. If you have a question, the mayor and board of aldermen may, of course, provide an immediate response. However, the mayor and board of aldermen may also provide no response or response at a later time as they deem appropriate. Now, please.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Lover. My address is 616 Locust. And last week, when we were here, I got up and told you guys that I was going to work on a committee to help with the use tax. And so I want to kind of give you a heads up on where we're at on that. First, you kind of want to thank you again for your guys' effort and your approval of putting this use tax on the ballot so that we can use this towards safety and the progression of our PD. The committee met. There was only a few of us that met, but we had some good ideas to get started with. We are going to be the citizens for the CJPD is what our committee is going to be called. We are going to get a Facebook page up and going to put the facts on and get that information shared about the use tax. I believe, if I'm understanding correctly, you got the right information from the county clerk, we should be question 1 on the ballot. I wanted to read what the ballot actual verbiage is because it is very misleading, and I think one of the key facts that we need to do is make sure that we express to people that this is a use tax and it's only for the internet and it does not raise the rest of the taxes that we are paying. So the ballot reads as, shall the city of Pearl Junction, Missouri impose a city use tax at the same rate as the total city sales tax rate, currently 3%, provided that if the city sales tax rate is reduced or raised by voter approval, the city use tax rate shall be reduced or raised by the same action. And then there's a simple yes or no. It nowhere states that it is an internet-only tax. And so that is one of the things that we really need to be sharing with people and letting them understand. So we think there were question 1 on the ballot with that information for the language. I think tentatively we are looking at using a logo 3 for the PD because it's 3% for the PD. And our signs, if we can raise some funds for some signage, we've got some pricing on some signs. I've got pricing on flyers. I've got pricing on a little video that we can put out there. And I want to make sure that if we do the video that it is something that the city may also be able to use. It'll be just the facts and it'll be information that you guys can hopefully use it. You have to look at it and make sure that we're following all those guidelines that we have to stay within. But raising funds is important. So we are going to need some donations if we're going to do more than just like a social media thing. We also have Bailey's is willing to put out a little table there and brochure and some other products if we want to. We are going to talk to them about maybe having a meeting there, a night meeting there, so where we can meet with people and talk. We'd like to have weekly meetings here for whoever wants to come to help with this committee and to pass along that information. Was wondering if you guys would be able to schedule I don't know what you call it, donuts and coffee. If we can get one of those scheduled, close to the time of the ballot issue. And I just want to invite everyone Thursday night to be here at 7. We're going to have another meeting and we're going to keep putting some ideas out there and try to keep growing this. We don't have a lot of time, so we need to be pretty quick in what it is that we're doing. And I want to invite all of you guys to take your city hat off for a little bit because you guys as individuals are able to help push this from your own individual, not from the city point of view. So if you have any questions, just let me know. And I guess that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you.
First of all, let me address each of you and my displeasure.
I need your name and address. I'm sorry, ma'am.
Pardon me?
We need your name and address.
My name is Doris McDaniel. My address is 905 Sheridan. Has been for the last 47 plus years.
Thank you.
This is my town. I've lived here my entire life. I am very disappointed in the budget management of this council. Extremely disappointed. I feel like it's been mismanaged and that money has went places it shouldn't have gone. I'm quite disappointed. I reiterate, this is my town. I'm extremely disappointed. I sat out on my deck here a couple of weeks ago and I witnessed a backhoe driver came with materials to fill potholes. Then I saw 2 city trucks pull up and 3 workers got out. How many pull-ups does it take to change a light bulb? So here we've got all these workers filling these potholes, and we have these, I can't even think, these things on the roof of our city building, and we don't maintain them. What the world's wrong with you people? We have workers workers to go and do this kind of work, and yet we don't maintain our buildings. I'm extremely disappointed. My displeasure has no end.
Thank you.
Shelley Albright, 222 Fairway Drive. I just wanted to clarify, with the use tax passes, will that raise our budget, the police department budget, or will it stay the same? Will it raise it more than the 1.3 million, or will it remain at 1.3 million, and that use tax is just going to be put into that 1.3 million?
You want to handle that?
I can.
Yeah.
What it is, and we've explained this in the last couple of meetings, I think. We will sit down with the PD, with the chief. We will work through their budget to fully fund them, to make sure they are staffed, to make sure we have competitive wages, to determine if we have vehicles that may need replaced, safety equipment that need replaced. He will set his budget. We plug in whatever's in the use tax. We plug in what is in the public safety sales tax, which is a 0.5-cent sales tax. Then to completely fund his budget, we will transfer from general fund. I'm assuming it's going to be more than 1.3 million because salaries are going to have to go up and the cost of everything goes up. So, but that will be during the budget session. We will sit down with the chief. We will determine exactly what is needed to fund his department. We plug those two in. We fill the gap with general fund.
Okay. And so if the use tax doesn't pass, what, do you have a plan for, is there a plan B?
We talked about that last week and the week before on moving dispatch to Jasco, which will free up money for salary increases.
Right. But aside from that,
Plan B is development, business development, economic development, which we've already contracted with Retail Strategies. We're not just saying use tax, we're working long-term, but as far as immediate results, that's what's going to happen. We're going to have to.
we would have been working long-term all along, so we hadn't gotten into this position. I wish we would have been doing that in the past. But, and then my other question is, so we had a $3.8 million loan for solar panels, correct?
I'd have to go back in the records if you're asking me. I don't know. They have not functioned right since day one.
I don't, it's been long enough, I don't remember what the
Yeah.
loan amount
And
was.
so why hasn't something been done about that if they haven't functioned right
We
since
have
day one?
we addressed it over and over and over for months, for years. Mr. Burns can attest to that.
But I wasn't involved in that, so I
Right.
have a legitimate question, because I see I know the police department has 108 panels. I know there are 4 areas within our community that have panels. And, do you need to check your phone while
I'm looking at your time.
okay. So my question is that why haven't they been maintained? And why, if they had been maintained, we would be having a $40,000 electric bill for City Hall, a $190,000 electric bill for the wastewater treatment. I would just like to know why those haven't been done, why they haven't been maintained. I mean, $3.8 million and it wasn't important to maintain those? That's obviously my time is up. Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak? Public forum? Come on.
Hi, Daniel Hawkins, 114 East Allen Street. I wanted to maybe go a slightly different route. I've been pretty happy as a Carl Junction resident, 13 years now. Really young when I moved here, found a good deal on a house, and me and my wife have been very happy here. We're both small business owners here, and been pretty happy with everything, including so far, the way we've been treated by you guys and the police force as well has been really great to us personally. Anyway, that's not involved in this conversation, but I just wanted to bring up an area of concern for me personally. So my house is situated on the corner of Joplin and Allen Street. And I've noticed that the speed that folks tend to travel in that area, it tends to be quite in excess of the speed limit. And normally I wouldn't care. I'm a gearhead. I like fast cars and stuff like that. So normally I wouldn't complain about that. However, being on Allen Street, we're pretty busy throughway for school children coming home from school. Thankfully, to my knowledge, there's never been a significant issue or injury or anything related to that. Thank God. However, it does seem as though, as time has gone on from my 13 years of living on that corner, that people have gotten a little more confident in their speed, and so I do have concerns about with lots of young children in such an area of high traffic and tends to be quite high speeds. It seems like the issue is the stoplight there or the stop sign on Pinell there. They kind of start to accelerate from that stop sign, and it's really at that Allen and Joplin intersection where they've picked up enough speed to be pretty in excess of the speed limit. Kind of before there, those couple of intersections prior to Allen Street, they don't really have enough time to pick up enough speed to really be in excess there. So anyway, so that was just an area of concern that I wanted to bring up. That, as I said, in the past couple of years, I've really noticed kind of getting to the point that I would call concerning. And then I did have a question about the use tax thing. So it was mentioned that it would be used, hopefully, God willing, for the police force, but as well also for business development, which is great. Obviously, that's taxes from businesses here are a huge part of what pay for stuff to happen. So I'm all for that. And as a small business owner myself, I'm happy to do that. However, I would just bring up the concern of, as a small business owner, the work that I do is very specialized. And unfortunately, I cannot get the materials to run my business locally. There just aren't places that sell it. A lot of my stuff comes from China or other overseas places, and lots of that's procured on the internet. So I do have concerns about how that would affect small businesses like mine. That unfortunately there's not places to buy the materials or the supplies or what we need to run our daily businesses, that we would be negatively impacted potentially by that use
Well,
tax.
if there were businesses in town you could buy it from, you'd be paying that tax.
Right,
And
that would
you're
be-
not paying that tax when you buy it online.
That's right, and I would be happy to do that because that's
Exactly, yeah.
But that is a benefit that I do enjoy. As not having to pay that tax, that is a benefit that I enjoy, obviously.
Sure.
Which allows my business to ideally be more profitable. So that's just an area of concern that I'm just making the council aware that I'm sure you guys have already plenty thought about, but just for specialized businesses that do rely on products from overseas and on the internet, that we may be potentially negatively impacted. But anyway, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark?
To clarify something, sorry, real quick, the use tax, if it passes, that's for public safety. That's not funding the economic development
Oh, I
contract.
see.
Yeah, those are
Okay, I'm sorry, I thought that's how.
no, I just want to make sure you knew those are, two separate things. It's just two methods of funding that we're working towards
Gotcha.
there.
Thank you.
Could you put the little radar thing that records and gets some data?
Every year,
There on Joplin.
several times a year, we
Yep.
get to Joplin Street.
Yep.
Karen Drive, Briarbrook
Robert
Drive,
Drive,
and we do what we can.
Briarbrook Lane.
We have, there's times I just tell an officer to go down and sit and run radar for a while. I've gotten a couple of complaints this week about Joplin Street again, so I will be doing that again. However, when we have 2 school resource officers in the school and 1 officer on the street, a lot of times there's just not the time that he's free that he can do that. We will make the effort to do that.
Does that stationary thing though, does it collect data?
Yeah, we put the radar up.
Okay,
Yeah, we can do that.
You get some data on that. Of course,
Yeah.
that's kind of, when it's up there, then people slow down.
And every year it shows that most people do obey the speed
I know.
limit within 1 to 5 miles an hour. And there's a few speeders that are quite in excess, so.
Okay,
It's a yearly thing. We anticipate it.
very good. Thank you.
You can't
Eric?
cover the city when you don't have officers to patrol.
No kidding.
I had a question of that unit that was put up on Robert Drive.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's not cities at all. That's an independent organization, Ozark Drug Task Force, that is not part of the city.
The camera,
I guess.
we don't know that.
It's a camera slash license plate reader, so that if the car comes through, it's got stolen plates on it, or the automobile stolen, and that plate's associated with it, or a serious crime suspect that has warrants attached to him that has that license plate also will alert to JASCO, and they can distribute it to officers or agencies that car was seen in that area.
That's its only purpose.
Do what?
That its only purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Public forum?
Yes. I would like to talk with LaDonna. Okay,
Would you like to talk?
you manage our city budget, is that correct?
I'm a budget chair. I mean, we can do some stuff in public forum. If it's going to be extended, I'd be happy to talk to you after or some other day.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you.
Right now, we're in public forum, so the time's kind of limited, but I would be, if you've just got something quick, otherwise I would be happy to talk with you after the meeting or set up a time we could talk during the week.
Just let me say that I think that the budget has been so poorly managed. And we are in a pickle right now. And if you manage your personal budget the way this has been managed, you must be in dire straits. And if I manage my budget as well as you've managed this budget, I'd be probably sitting in the street.
Will you
I
be?
don't mean this to be a personal attack, however.
Well, you may not mean so, but you're doing a really good job of it.
I think
Are you going to be at the budget meeting at 4:15 tomorrow?
at 4:15, I doubt it, I can't drive yet.
Okay, well, we're having a budget meeting at 4:15. All the budget planning meetings are open.
Why do you have it at 4:15 when people can't attend?
Okay, we addressed that last week. We have to survey the committee members to find out when they can attend the meeting, because we have other meetings at night during the week between the different commissions and everything. We have to do it when the committee members can be there. It is only a work session. No decisions are made. We present the budget then to the entire council, and it is voted on 2 weeks later. That is when we have to be there. We have to be at those meetings.
Okay,
It is open to the public. You are more than welcome to be there. And if you would like to take the budget, a copy of the budget, we can have one printed for you. And you can go through and highlight all the misappropriation you
got
see in
that
it.
information already.
Okay, do you have that available so I can take it and look at what you say is misappropriated so I can get back to you on that? I will be more than happy to do that. If you can give me the copy of the budget and mark what misappropriation there is, I would be more than happy to sit down and look at those, dig back through and see.
Right there, our city administrator, extravagant raise. Am I angry? I damn sure am.
Okay, I think we'll talk about, maybe we can talk about this later because we really went over the public forum and I think things need to calm down a little bit. If you will do that to me or for me, I will be more than happy to go over all that information. There is no misappropriation. We are audited every single year. Every year.
Are you responsible for that raise, you alone?
No,
Who voted on it?
the whole council.
Every year,
And
people
for
are
a
getting raises.
community this size, and you gave an extravagant raise such as that,
What was the extravagant raise?
What are you referring to?
How much?
it's out of line with other communities our size.
It is not.
I disagree with that.
Well, I disagree with you. I've seen the figures. He's the lowest paid city administrator in the area.
That's part of what we do when we set budgets and salaries too, is we have Missouri Municipal League does salary surveys. We get those salary surveys. We can see the size of population, the size of the annual budget, and what different positions are paid. That's how Missouri municipalities know they're in.
I came here to express my opinions. I have every right to them.
You
as
do,
well
but
as you.
Yep.
you do. But at this point, public forum is over. But I will be more than happy, Doris, to get you.
Don't try to shut me down.
Well, you're going to have to get shut down because public forum's got to end. But I will be more than happy to get you those answers
Well,
and
I'm
that
not happy.
information. Okay, well, That's all I can do is get you answers to your questions.
Okay, and anybody else like to speak in public forum? Bob? Go ahead. Just don't forget your name and address.
Bob Hayes, 209 North Broadway. My concern deals with the intersection there at Broadway and Wise, and also the foot traffic by the students from the junior high school, or whatever, that comes down Wise Street. There's a lot of traffic there around school times and stuff. People are running that stop sign 4-way either way. And I see it all the time. Kids walking down the street, there's no sidewalk from Burbrick down to Raleigh for them down Y Street. My concern is at some point, if, when you've got kids walking in the street, you got people that kind of sometimes don't stop coming through, especially on Broadway. That, there may be some issues there, and I don't know how to address it other than put some speed bumps in, speed strips, or whatever. I mean, I've gone through some on, 26th in Joplin, heading east of St. Louis. Kind of, there's a church over area in that, and they've got some huge speed bump strip deals up there that are probably 4 foot in length, and they cover the street. And I guarantee you won't be flying down the street. But anyway, my thing is just about the safety of the students, and I just don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Yep.
So that's it.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
He's talking about on 26th in Connecticut.
Anybody else? Last chance. Very well, then we'll move on. Next, approval of bids for fencing at the dog park.
In your packet there, we got 3 bids, Miller Fence, Diamond S Fencing, and Superior Fencing. My recommendation is that we use Diamond S fencing for the project, and we go with the black coated instead of just the regular galvanized, which we've used elsewhere and have started replacing some with that. And this is money that is actually coming out of ARPA funds, so it's not using any city funds for it.
Make a motion we approve the bid as recommended. I'll second it.
Motion by David Pyle, second by Bill McGuire to approve the bids that the city administrator recommended. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 7 affirmative, 1 absent. Go ahead. They got to be paid afterward?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't need an ordinance then. Next is discussion of the settlement offer from Emery Sapp and Sons.
At the last meeting, you guys asked that we try to get a little bit more information, and I gave you core density tests that out here Martin, actually Owned Engineering did. And there is also, I thought settlement, was that sitting there too? The settlement that Mr. Talley worked on, the settlement language, should be there too for you. That's what I could come up with.
Mike?
Yeah, I have a question. We mentioned last time, I believe in the discussion of this, that we really have no other course of action because it is what it is, so we can take it or leave it kind of. In this settlement, there's a section that says, provided, however, that the acceptance of the said sum does not release said undersigned from providing the required 1-year warranty. So if we have no course of reparations, then what good is a warranty? If it
No, there could be something else that happens. Like all of a sudden there's a huge crack in the street.
Maybe we'd ask them to come by and redo it.
It's not, yeah.
So for that, we can have them redo, but if the pavement's not to our satisfaction, we can't have them redo.
It's
It's gotta be a
to the
failure.
contract though. That's the problem. The payment is to the contract because we use the Missouri highway, whatever it is, standard for it.
Yeah, it's gotta be a failure.
It's gotta be a failure in
For
that.
them to come back and fix. Can't be just because of the thing.
Let me add to our engineer actually suggested the language and reserving that right. And I did tinker with it a little bit to emphasize that we're not releasing anybody, we're just acknowledging receipt of the money if we take it. But if the council has general consensus to go forward with this, we would want them to pay the money, offer the money, and sign off on the this agreement before you all actually vote on it. I wouldn't want you to vote on it tonight until the other parties have done so. As far as I know, nobody's talked to them yet directly.
Correct.
So you want to move forward on this, or we need a consensus? You okay with it?
Sure.
Anybody not okay with it? Okay, go forward with it, Steve. Next is ordinances. Ordinance approving an agreement with G&G Construction for the 2024 wastewater treatment plant improvements.
Move we put this ordinance on first reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by Roger Spencer, to put this ordinance on first reading by title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
An ordinance approving an agreement between the city of Carl Junction, Missouri and G&G Construction Company Incorporated to commence and complete the 2024 WWTP Improvements project as directed by the city in accordance with the contract documents for a cost not to exceed $623,420 and authorizing the mayor and/or city administrator to execute said agreement for and on behalf of the city of Carl Junction, Missouri.
Discussion. You want to comment on it?
No, sir. We've got the funds for it in the wastewater money.
For people that weren't here in a previous discussions on this, you want to describe what this is for?
Yeah,
Or you want
this
Jay to?
is, we've got one of the aerating rotors that's bad that we have to replace, and so we're replacing it with a new system that adds air to the system, forced air into the system instead of just a paddle wheel. And then there's some sensors that go along with levels. I believe there was some pump changes in there too, some controls down there.
Okay. Anything else?
Move we put this ordinance on second reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by David Powell, to put this ordinance on second reading by title only. Will clerk please read the title?
An ordinance approving an agreement between the city of Carl Junction, Missouri and G&G Construction Company Incorporated to commence and complete the 2024 WWTP Improvements project as directed by the city in accordance with the contract documents for a cost not to exceed $623,420 and authorizing the mayor and/or city administrator to execute said agreement for and on behalf of the city of Carl Junction, Missouri.
Any further discussion?
Make a motion, we put the ordinance on final passage.
Motion by David Pyle, second by Rick Flynn, to put this ordinance on final passage. This will be a hand vote to go to electronic voting. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 7 in the affirmative, 1 absent, please vote electronically. 7 yeses, 1 absent. That ordinance passes. We can get the wastewater treatment plant back up and going.
What's the number?
Number
2403.
2403, thank you. Next is reports, long-term project report. Any comments, questions? What city manager to discuss?
On the first item on Center Creek, I know we've got those. Did we ask Miracle to look at that maybe also?
What Miracle sent me was their color palette and their sales catalog. They didn't actually design one. They left it up to us to pick what we wanted in that project.
Does it have prices in the book? Catalog?
Yes, it did have prices in it.
And I know last time we had talked about, we got that original from Landscape, whatever it is, the AFCO, that they were gonna take out the big rock, the climbing things, and maybe try to substitute that with something else coming under budget. Did they get back to us from?
Yeah, we just got that back today.
I'll mention one of the things on there.
Yep.
The number 16 foot golf. And Ollie, last week you asked me about that, and I said I would have that for you today, and I did not have that for you today. But I'll get that tomorrow, and I'll get that to our city clerk, and she can share copies with everybody of what we've got going on. And
Thank you.
hopefully tomorrow, if not for sure, on Thursday.
So our next meeting's gonna be 3 weeks from now.
So that's why I'll get it sent out to you electronically or something. We can look at it.
Anything else on there? Got the basketball court. Good opening on the removal up here on the stormwater ditch. Comes in Thursday.
And the basketball court is for Four Oaks, correct?
Oaks.
No, this is for the one out here for resurfacing.
Oh, resurfacing. Do we have updated numbers on Four Oaks for a half court?
No, I do not have.
Because that's one of them we wanted to try to do this
Yeah.
spring also. So if we can get updated on that, for anybody that doesn't know, Four Oaks is in Osceola.
Yeah, they're out there playing basketball the other night. Last week.
It's good weather.
Nothing else? I'm gonna move right along to department reports. What do we got here? We get anything from anybody? I guess a little bit short. Mark, you wanna say anything about the PD?
We had I may have touched on it last week, but the LESD board meeting was last week. I know that they're recommending approval for us for the 31,000 something for the first year of doing a complete revamp of our car and body camera program. But we won't have the actual authorization and award letter until probably the end of this month. Last year at this time, the board meeting was on February 4th, and we got the award letter on February 27th. So until that time, I can't take any steps. I've already been in contact with the Digital Ally who our cameras are with. They're just waiting for me to get the official word before they can get all the equipment installed.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
comment on that. I got a memo today from Webster to Bartosh and the commissioners that he has put that across to them. So hopefully it won't be too much longer. It just came out today.
Chief, did we ever get that license number we were waiting for?
The license software or whatever, no. And he keeps telling us that he'll check on it. I have talked to Jasco, and whether or not we get those does not determine whether or when we can make a switch to them. That just be a matter of them not being able to use their computers in the cars, but Jasco can still dispatch for us and for everything else.
And then are you gonna have, tomorrow for the budget meeting, are you gonna have overtime numbers for us of what we paid out in overtime?
I don't keep track of that.
I don't know
Sure,
what
Elena
Elena
does.
has. Okay, thank you.
Anything else for PD? Public Works, Jay, any comments? No broken water lines?
Not this week.
Okay, good. Didn't shut any meters off or anything? Okay,
A lot of pothole fights.
yeah. Anything else for Public Works? If not, we'll move along to committee reports. Budget and Finance.
We met last week to go over wastewater and water budgets. We will review everything again one more time before we hand it off. But tomorrow at 4:15, we will be addressing the PD. And was there something else we had to touch on next week, or that'll be the following? Did we do? Just PD. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to do a police department work session. And then next Wednesday, we will be going over general fund, capital improvements, and all of that. But it is 4:15. It is open to the public. while we're talking about budget, Chief, if you can make sure, I know we try to look at the mileage on the vehicles and everything else, so if you'd make sure you have that also.
Well, Donna, we are gonna meet on the 21st.
Oh, we will not meet on the 21st. We will be in Jefferson City. So we will meet tomorrow, and then the next meeting will have to be 2 weeks.
28th.
Because that will still let us come in the time frame. We build a little time.
And then will we be meeting the first week of March as well? One more after that.
We should then to go over the completed, just to review it before we hand it off, so.
Anything else for budget? Code nuisance, Rick?
Nothing at this time, sir.
Anything for code and nuisance? Human resources?
Nothing at this time.
Anything for human resources? Public facilities, Mike?
We had a public facilities meeting earlier this evening where we discussed Bulldog Beach, the swimming pool. At this point, we decided to gather some more information, not making decisions, so we have some idea of how much money we could possibly ask the public in a vote. And so we can have a better idea to make a plan, because I would like to make a real plan for the future, and so we need a little bit more information before we do that.
Anything else for Mr. Burns? Very well. Economic development, Holly?
No, nothing at this time. Thank you.
Anything for economic development? Very well, then we'll move along to unfinished business. David?
No, sir.
Bill?
No, sir.
Sure, I'll mention a couple things. First, Miss McDaniel, 905 Sheridan is where you live.
Yes.
I just want to say that your azalea on the side of your house, that azalea is the prettiest plant I've ever seen. And it brings me such joy for a week or so when it's blooming every spring. That's all. But then the second thing, the discussion of solar panels. I'd just like to talk about those for a second, I guess. They're pretty old. I know it's before my time here when we first voted to get those installed. And I asked a lot of questions when I first came on the council. And this is really the first I've heard as far as the solar panels being in disrepair. I know that we weren't sure exactly how much benefit they were providing us and the cost savings we weren't really seeing. But, and this has been a while since anybody's brought up solar panels. But the last thing that I remember was we were getting electric bills, and our electric bills were continuing to go up. But that was rate changes involved. And so it was hard for us to calculate exactly what benefit we were getting out of the solar panels. The electric rates just keep going up, and our bills have gone up and up and up. And maybe without the solar panels, we'd be paying twice as much. And that's kind of where we left it 6 years ago, the last time anybody's discussed solar panels that I really remember. So I guess the question is, I mean, are they still working? Do we know that? This is really the first, I guess, I've heard that they are no longer working, that they've lost. I don't know really where we're at on those. Is there something that we can repair? This is possibly 12-year-old technology, and the solar panels, $3.2 million for the solar panels 12 years ago, probably just doesn't get you much today. I don't know. I guess, can we elaborate just a little bit more on those, or where we're at on that? This is kind of the first I've heard that they're just not working.
I've had a couple of companies come out and take a look at them, and we've got 34 panels out of all of them that we have that are not reporting into the system. When I jump online and I look at the system, it doesn't tell me anything other than 34 are not. It shows everything else's production, and with us 34 down, of course the production has fallen also.
Is there a way you can work up if they are repairable, if we, how much that would increase our production, and kind of compare the repair costs to the production and just work something up with
You
that?
bet, I can find out how much it is per panel to replace those.
And see if it's worth it, if they produce more than the repair costs.
How many are functional?
We've probably got in the neighborhood of 250 panels
Total?
total. I don't know for sure, but that's
215, so minus 36, we have over 200 that are producing and are saving us money on our electric bill. And maybe never going to recoup the 3.2 million that was paid for them. I think at some point
Well, we
I
didn't.
hesitated at putting price on that without finding out.
I
Let
don't
me go
think
look
that's
at the DNR loan that we got from them.
Yeah, because I think that was way, I don't remember that number either. I feel like that's way high. Sorry, I'm
Well, yeah, we got a
We've
grant
given that
and
number.
got money back from the electric company on it, and
Right.
stuff like that. Yeah, and we got a loan on it.
yeah,
We paid off the
that
loan.
does seem right. So you're right. I shouldn't be repeating
Just
that
off
number,
the cuff, well, I mean, it's hard to, yeah.
but anyway, that's all I have. If you don't mind looking into that and seeing if what it would take to get us at as operational as we can.
Pardon me, sir. Would there be an opportunity for the public to be involved in that conversation? I know a lot about solar stuff. I've installed my own system on my house in town and went through all that and stuff. So I personally would have an interest in
Can you wait and talk to Steve after the meeting?
Who's Steve?
Steve Lauber?
Sure.
or
Yeah, that'd be great.
Talk to Steve,
Sure.
okay?
Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Ladonna,
No.
finished? I have none finished. Roger?
No.
Rick? Holly?
I just want to say I saw the seed library outside from the Girl Scouts. So everybody check that out.
I didn't check.
That's all for me.
Mr. Talley? Lena? Crystal? Steve?
No, sir.
Jay? Mark? New business? Holly?
No, sir.
Rick?
No, sir.
Roger?
No.
I have nothing. Ladonna?
Just one thing I want to share because I know several people here know, and I know it wasn't a city department at the time he came on with the fire district, but we've worked closely over the years, and they are having a reception for Claire Utes. I don't know if you guys know him. This coming Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. at the main fire station on Pennell. So I think it'd be nice if some of the people from the city could go by. Like I say, he's been there since 98, I believe. He's their chaplain, but up until a couple years ago, Claire, who is now 86, I believe, was still fighting fires up until just here a few years ago when the guys convinced him to step back and do the chaplain thing so he didn't get in danger. But anyhow, Claire's a really good guy. I just thought I'd let you guys know in case anybody can stop by after church or whatever. That's all I have.
Mike?
I have nothing, sir.
Bill? Nothing. David? Mr. Talley? Elena? Crystal? Steve? Really?
Yes, sir.
Jay? Mark? Is there any other business before the council?
I have to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by Rick Clement, we adjourn. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 7 in the affirmative, one absent. We are now adjourned. Thank you all for attending. It's nice to see some people in the stands finally.
Or big day pays. That was the biggest waste of money.
Like I was saying, I mean, talk to Web City.